It's 12:40. We're about to have brunch. Beans on toast. Wow, what a weekend. What is it, Monday? I don't know where I am. Thursday's video was fun and games in regard to the export. In the early hours of Saturday morning, it was ready for exporting, and I kept an eye on it, so to speak, seeing if it would crash. It didn't crash. No, it didn't fail or anything. But every time I checked it, maybe every hour, it said the same percentage. Around the 70 mark, around 70%. I won't say exactly what it is. And it wouldn't move, it's stuck on that percentage. So I knew it had hit a loop somewhere. It didn't get as far as crashing, it just hit some sort of infinite loop. Anyway, so I crashed out of it. I did a restart and tried again a few hours later, or actually it wasn't. Well, because of the percentage, I didn't have to wait as long as an hour, maybe half an hour, 40 minutes. So every half an hour, 30 minutes or so, it stopped at this same percentage. So I knew I didn't have to think twice about it. So on the first inspection, first check to find it was the same percent, I knew there's something wrong again. So what could I do? I didn't know what the problem was. Why was it sticking at that percentage? And the first thing that came to my mind was open up the project and create two more. The first one will be the first half of the project, and the second one will be the second half. I did that. I exported the first half and it was thumbs up, it was okay. I did the second half and it stuck at a different percentage. I think 17% was quite low. I think it was 17. It was a low percentage, around 70, doesn't matter. But it was a different percentage because obviously it's a different file in a sense, different duration of a file. So what I did there was, and I don't know what happened. I don't know. I looked at the vlog. I looked at the log, and going straight to the bottom, which is that's where the latest information is. And it had a file name. It had one of the video files. So I found it, and I happened to notice there was a transition, and it was suddenly I thought, oh, that's why. Because it was a particular transition. It was a bar horizontal transition, which goes from, let me think, from left to right. Is it left to right? Is that left to right? Left. Your left. So it's my right. So it's left to right. That's a bar. What it does is there's two clips. There's a clip behind the following clip appears at this mark here, and the previous clip appears here. So you're transitioning between two clips. But what's special about the bar horizontal is I ticked a little box underneath that said inverted wipe. So that means it did it from right to left, which makes sense because the clips start, the clips start from right to left. And it looked very good when I saw it because it looks like because it looks like a Star Wars transition, And so when I saw that on the end of the clip that was in the log, I thought it must be that. What else can it be? Not that I could understand what the log says, To make sense of this log, I'd have to go to the forums and ask somebody there. So I thought, okay, what I'll do with the second half of the project is open it up and save it 3 times. So you've got the beginning, middle and end. I did the beginning, thumbs up. I did the middle and it failed. And it was so late. It was. I'm doing this. All this experiment. All this is. I'm doing this all day Saturday. I'm not even vlogging on Saturday because it's taking so long to work out what the problem is and having to wait on these tests, these partial project exports. And I didn't even bother with the third one. I just thought, I'm not going to do any more today. I'm going to do it yesterday. So Sunday comes and I'm not in no rush to tackle it, I thought I'd read up on the internet, see if there's any guidelines there. But I think it's the old chestnut, you've got an old laptop with no memory. But I've always got by in the past by breaking down the project into parts and then merging them into one, and then, which is what I did with HitFilm and DaVinci. I used to export it separately in HitFilm because the project completed the edit in HitFilm, but I brought in DaVinci to merge all 3 to export. So Sunday, I don't know what time, probably mid-afternoon, I thought, okay, let's do the third part, the third act, the end bit of the project. And that worked no problem. So I looked at the middle bit and I was thinking, the thing is that I couldn't even open the middle bit anymore. Every time I opened it, I couldn't view it. It was corrupt because I'd split it into 3. And I think I'll close the window at this stage. So, a lot of time was spent yesterday playing around with part 2, the middle. And I thought, well, obviously it's the transition but I couldn't, as I say, I couldn't view it and I couldn't edit it. It was corrupt. So I had to find the files that made up the middle section and recreate it as a new project. And I can't remember if I exported it without the transition, but if I did, it would have worked, because the next thing I did was, well, let's put in the transition again, as it's a smaller clip. It's probably a 5-minute clip. A 5-minute clip. So I did. I put the transition back in, I recreated the middle bit with the transition, bar horizontal, inverted. I exported it, didn't take long. I checked it and it was fine. So I had 4 files to merge into one. And yeah, I don't need to repeat myself, because I know the first half was fine, and I got 3 separate parts for part 2 that are fine. Excuse me. So I merged them all together. I created a new project, added in 4 clips. The 4 clips. The 4 clips of the apocalypse. The 4 clips. The 4 horsemen of the 4 horse. The 4 clips of the apocalypse. Anyway, so yeah. So, and what I'm trying to say is I re-exported it and it worked, and it was yesterday sometime in the evening, I guess. So there was no vlog yesterday either. So there was no weekend vlogging. So I thought to myself, what a nightmare. What a nightmare. I'm just thinking, I didn't know whether to go back. So the fact that I put all the 3 clips together means I've still got a soft spot for Shotcut. I'm not going to give up on it. And you know what else I did with Shotcut? While I was looking for a solution, the forum said there's a beta version, 2004. So I even used a beta version to see if that would work, and it didn't make any difference. So again, more time was spent, wasted. You can't call it wasted, because you don't know it's wasted until it fails. So yeah, Thursday's video, edited on Friday, took a whole weekend to export. So thank goodness for today, and back to vlogging and even a bit of dash camming. Oh, incidentally, on my dash cam, I did a detour to ESK. I thought to myself, with all this panic buying at superstores, I wonder if ESK are still open and have the hand wash and the hand gel, but they were it was closed. I knew deep down it would be closed, but I wanted to see for myself. Maybe it was the hidden treasure, you know, the unknown secret. Unknown secret. I thought there was a hidden gem where you can get stuff there, but of course nobody would blurt it out. They keep it to themselves, but no, it was shut. So I had to go elsewhere to get my stuff. So I'm all stocked up again. I've got 3 chili con carnes, 3 spaghetti and tomato sauces. I've got 4 cans plus 1 of baked beans, mocha for coffee, crackers. I've even got some crumpets in case I fancy a treat. got more than my usual allowance of grapefruit juice. I've got more cheese, more garlic sausage. I've got spare garlic hummus. I've got spare butter. I've got spare. The main reason why I went out today was the bread. I only had 6 slices left, so that's a sandwich and a breakfast. So I'm missing a midday meal quota of slices. So I got the bread, that's the main thing. And the queue at Tesco was longer than usual. We didn't have to wait too long. It was not that it was moving every 30 seconds, so it wasn't too bad. But it was from one side of Tesco into the car park, back from the car park, towards the side, back in again, back out again, back in, then into the entrance. But it's just good to be out and in the fresh air, even though it's in the queue. And and there's other people there, so you're all in it together. And that's the story so far. So what have I been watching while this is going on? Well, I've been binge watching the directors. So I've seen all the second series now. I've just moved on to the third series. I was watching one last night, but I thought, no, let's stop. It's not only was I getting tired, it was late. I had to draw the line somewhere. And what's exciting is I can't remember which director it was. Which director was it? The first director of series 4. I haven't a clue. Fun, isn't it? I haven't a clue. No point me trying to guess because it just wastes airtime. Right, so that's what I've been watching. Today's Monday, so there is no Only Connect because the final was last week. I don't know which quarter. Is it a quarter-final university challenge? If not, it's probably a semi. So that's on today. And Liar. I wonder if it's the last episode of Liar. I think it is because remember when I watched the last episode, the continuity announcer at the beginning said blah blah episode. I didn't know whether it was penultimate or final. It was the penultimate. So tonight is the final. And there's all these other dramas floating around that I've downloaded the first episode as a reminder so I can continue watching. Right, so that's all there is. Opportunity to go through my recordings, and I just didn't, because there's so much, it just seemed daunting. Anyway, I'm not really hungry, but I'm looking forward to having beans on toast for brunch. First I've got to wash the dishes. And whilst I was on my laptop over the weekend trying to sort out this problem, I had Scala on in the background, and I must have gone through all the presenters in that one day. And it was really good because you had film and you had the culture bunker, whatever that means. And just classical, yeah. Just nice to have it in the background, and just so soothing. So yeah, I had Scala on in the background. where I should be watching TV or listening to the radio. Anyway, I must wash the dishes. Also, my mind was all over the place as well over the weekend. I was on autopilot because it was the afternoon, I think, on Saturday, and I opened a can of, instead of opening a can of beans, I opened a can of chili con carne. It was the first meal of the day. I know it was late, but it should have been beans, not chili con carne. And other things happened as well. That's just one example. There were a few howlers. Like what? Thankfully I can't remember them. But there were too many. Oh, incidentally, because of this isolation business, I've stopped going for my walk around the block. I've opened the window seats as well. Because I don't see the point of going out just to exercise. You can exercise indoors, you can do yoga, you can walk around, you know. If you want fresh air, open the window. It's that time where it's still cold and also hot. So I'm having to turn off the central heating on and off quite a lot at the moment. So I've stopped doing that. I could have been going stir crazy as a result of not going out, but it may explain why I was making silly howlers like that. I was just on automatic pilot, you know. What else? That was funny. No, can't remember. Yes, I think I was going to have, because I had chili in the morning, as the first meal, I was going to have beans in the second to reverse the roles. And I didn't have beans, I had spaghetti in tomato sauce instead, which is my chili con carne reserve. So my intentions were all over the place, yeah, just disorientated. Yeah. Right, I'm almost about to microwave those beans, so I'm going to carry on if you'll just excuse me. And this video, what was the outcome of that? It worked, yeah. It exported okay. Have I seen it? I have seen it. In fact, I'm going to watch it again now before I start on the directors. And while I'm watching the directors, I'll do some file transfer. Because then I can delete the files that relate to the vlog in question. I've just transferred the files, but I'm not going to edit straight away. I'm going to, and I've also seen my video again, and I put the dishes in the sink while the water's still hot. I'm gonna shut the laptop now. I feel a siesta coming on, so I'm going to snooze for about an hour. I'm going to close all the windows because it's quite, apart from the wind and the howling, it is quite it's quite chilling. It's quite cold. Then after I've had the nap, I'll edit Friday's vlog. It's 5:10. I had a kind of, I couldn't really get off in my nap. I was awake. Although my eyes were shut, I was conscious. Couldn't get off. But I think I may have nodded off for about a minute here and there, so having the eyes shut for the best part of an hour is probably just as good. Right, I'm ready to edit Friday's video now at, what was it, 5:10 in the evening. So I'm not going to waste any more time, and I'm going to start. Yeah, here goes. Wow, it looks like I've been editing for 2 hours. So I'm entitled to a break. Right, let's see what's on the home page. Oh, directors. Joseph Mankiewicz. That was the one I was trying to remember earlier. He's made some good films like Julius Caesar with Marlon Brando. Crikey, I can't remember the rest. He did the Philadelphia Story. All About Eve. I've not heard of A Letter to Three Wives, but the other two I've heard of.
It's nothing bad. I can't get my headphones to work. The sound is coming out of the laptop or the TV, but not out of the headphones. Normally when I plug it in, it detects the plug-in and it says, is it a headset, is it headphones, headset, microphone, and what have you. But no, I don't know what's happened. So I had the proper editing suite otherwise. 2 monitors, headphones, but just can't get it to work. Whoa. It was like that earlier, in fact, but I thought if I leave it plugged in and restart the laptop, it might work, but no. Anyway, I've nearly had a 2-hour break. What with the cooking of the microwaving of the meal and making the toast. I watched the rest of Joe, I think it's Mankiewicz, Joseph Mankiewicz. Saw the rest of that, and then I started watching one on Robert Altman, and I thought, no, I need to get back here. So I thought it was just before 9, so I thought at 9 o'clock I'd come on, and then I was just dithering about, and then of course it's gone past 9, and now it's 9:30. So I'm going to crack on for a couple of hours and take another break. 11:30. So that's it.